Hello, fragrance family. Welcome back to Elizabeth Noir's perfume channel. I'm Mr. Noir himself, and today I have a special treat for you guys. I'm going to be talking about 3 fragrances that I will be wearing for this cold season. You know, winter, fall, early spring. These are 3 of the fragrances that I plan on getting some heavy usage, and I'm excited to share them with you guys. First up, this is an excellent fragrance by the house of Dior. This is Dior Homme Parfum. So with this particular line, there's many flankers. A flanker is like an addition, you know, so there's a lot of Dior Hommes. There's Dior Homme, Dior Homme Cologne, Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Parfum, which is what I have here. They're all great fragrances, but this one is my favorite by far. This is a very iris heavy, leathery fragrance. So it's powdery and also a little bit cosmetic. And what I mean by that is like lipsticky, you know, it kind of smells like lipstick a little bit. And the leather in this is not super thick. It's like a soft, elegant leather. Like there's like the thick leather, very thick leather, and it's strong. And then you have like the thinner leather that's a little bit softer smelling, and it's really pleasant. Oh wow. Yeah, the iris really comes through, especially in the opening. You get a strong opening of iris. It's powdery. You can get the leather in there a little bit in the background, and there's also a little bit of citrus in here. It's mandarin, I believe, mandarin orange on the top, and it complements the iris and the leather in such a way, but that disappears pretty quickly. This lasts a long time. The projection is relatively close to the skin from my experience, so it's not gonna like fill a room, but it will leave a beautiful scent trail. If you're wearing this and you walk down the street, people will notice it for sure. And I feel like this would be a compliment getter, you know. This is kind of like this is a black jacket fragrance. This is one you would wear for the ladies. It's romantic, it's confident, and it's classy. You know, despite being a black jacket fragrance, it's still classy. And by the way, you can't get this in the US. I think the only place you can get it now is Europe. That's where we got this. We got 4 bottles when we were in London, and we had to have it because it was discontinued in the US. I'm not sure if they're bringing it back or if they plan on phasing it out, so if you ever see a bottle of this, you snatch it up quick because they're disappearing, and they're very well made fragrances. I think either 2 things will happen. I think either they'll bring it back or they'll completely phase it out, which would be sad. We have a reserve of Dior Homme Parfums for us to use and wear because we love it so much. We had to get a bottle before, you know, goes extinct. These are 3 incredible fragrances. I love each of them, and they're all very fascinating. But make sure you watch through to the end, because the last one I'm going to talk about is particularly special. Be sure to subscribe if you love content about fragrance. We have a lot of exciting things that we talk about on this channel, and we also just launched our exclusive membership for the Elizabeth Noir channel. On there you'll be able to have access to video footage that we film that isn't included in our normal videos, such as the reveals at the end of group reviews when we let people know what they just smelled and their reaction, as well as middle note breakdowns, perfumery related content, so actual content related to raw materials, things like that, as well as the top 3 of the lists that we release at times. We'll be saving the top 3 for the exclusive member group on the channel, so make sure you sign up if that's something you'd be interested in. Alright, so next up on my list of cold weather fragrances for this year, we have from the house of Amuage a fragrance called Boundless. This is a recent purchase that we picked up in San Francisco while we were traveling on vacation, and we were at Zigio Perfumery there in the Castro, which is a neighborhood in San Francisco. We must have smelled hundreds of fragrances. We had all the test strips lined up on their table, and we were going around and they were sniffing them with us. It was a lot of fun. This was one of the standouts by far. Really unique scent profile and really stood out. This was a wow fragrance for Elizabeth and I both. We mutually decided to get this one because we went through all the fragrances at the end of our smelling marathon. We both picked this one in our love group, so here it is. Oh my gosh, wow. This is a beautiful, warm, spicy, a little bit sweet, but close to the skin, you really can smell the spices. The cardamom really pops, for me at least. There's a little bit of citrus in here, there's some blood orange, there's some ginger, there's tobacco in the middle, and then it's on a bed of myrrh, cacao, so it has chocolatey notes to it. Oh my god, this is a head turner. The projection is decent. It doesn't go too far out. You're not gonna fill a room, but it's there. When you wear this fragrance, the trail, you'll have people following you, I swear. It's incredible. And it lasts a long time as well. I feel like if you spray this on your clothing, it'll be on there for days. We do have limited experience with this fragrance so far because we just purchased it, but I've worn it several times already now and it lasts at least 6 hours. And if it's on clothing, then it lasts even longer. It's a little bit sweet, but not too sweet. It's more spicy than sweet. It's a different experience when you wear this, because when it's on your skin and the heat of your skin is working its magic with the fragrance, like I said, the spices come out a little bit more, but in the air, like when Elizabeth wears this, it's this intoxicating, sweet, still a little bit spicy, but sweet, tobacco-y, chocolatey. It's delicious, and it's very alluring. So this one I highly recommend. It's a great cold weather fragrance because it is, you know, it's powerful. It's definitely a powerful fragrance. If you're trying to impress somebody, I would recommend this fragrance. It's really good. It makes a statement, and it's enjoyable to wear. The last fragrance I have for you today, by a house called Aramis, and the reason this one is so special, Tobacco Reserve by Aramis, is because it can hang with these powerful fragrances at a fraction of the cost. This is a very high quality fragrance. I haven't worn it too much. You know, when you have so many fragrances, it's hard to get through them all. But you can see there's a little bit of use here, and I really enjoy this fragrance. I ran out of hands. I used both my hands already, so I have a test strip here for the scent breakdown. So Tobacco Reserve is obviously tobacco. There's a little bit of sweetness, and the tobacco here is tobacco leaf. It's more green than it is like a dried processed tobacco that you would put in a pipe or a cigar or some kind of, you know, something that one might enjoy smoking. This is not smoky at all. This is like the green leafy tobacco. It's almost like a little bit like a fougere with tobacco on it. I mean, because of the oak moss, and there's some tonka bean which gives it that sweetness. But this is such a wonderful fragrance. It lasts a great amount of time. I mean, the projection on this thing is strong. It's probably the strongest projection on my skin of the three. The scent trail is beautiful. It smells classy, sophisticated. You might hear tobacco and be a little bit off-put. Don't let it steer you away from enjoying this fragrance. It's worth at least trying. If somebody didn't tell me it was tobacco, you probably wouldn't even notice. This is a gentleman's fragrance, in my opinion. I feel this is very dapper, very sophisticated. This guy, he gets out of the car and walks around and opens the door for his wife or his girlfriend. And yeah, for the price, you can't even beat it. You can't beat it for the price. This might be one of the best fragrances in this price range, and not a lot of people are going to be wearing this. Aramis is a relatively underrated house, in my opinion. Aramis Tobacco Reserve. Get you a bottle of this. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. These are the 3 fragrances that I'll be using heavily for this cold weather season. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing, give it a like, comment down below what are some of your favorite cold weather fragrances, what are your go-tos, and if you're interested in any of these, you know, I'd be happy to try to answer some questions for you guys. Thanks.